The greatest rugby nation of all time, the prestige of the black jersey marked with a white fern, the aura of the haka. For so long, the All Blacks have been without doubt the most feared team across the world, mixing ruthless physicality with sublime skills to produce a must-watch brand of rugby. In recent years, however, their star seems to have lost its shine ever so slightly, and the fear they once struck into the hearts and souls of opponents appears not to be as great as it was before. While the world has shifted its focus to the Springboks, Ireland, and France, the All Blacks have been slowly and quietly going through a transitional phase, building their next group of gladiators. Flying well under the radar with a new and exciting coaching staff, the scary truth is that they could soon return to their former glory, and a lot sooner than anyone thinks. Yes, while you may deny it right now, 2025 could be the year of the Kiwis. With new stars on the rise, some razor magic and growing chemistry within the group, nobody is noticing just how scary this team will soon become. So stick around and join us as we pull back the curtain on New Zealand rugby and show you why they could be on the up and up. But before we do that, we ask that you do us a huge favor and give the video a like, subscribe to our channel, and remain with us to the end of the video. Your support allows us to keep bringing you the best rugby content possible. Now, without further ado, let's get back to the All Blacks. Before we start diving headfirst into what is to come, let's first do a quick recon of where this current group of New Zealanders find themselves. 2024 brought with it much change and a feeling of freshness, despite the mixed bag of results. Yes, a year prior, Ian Forster proved his critics wrong by making it to the World Cup final in 2023. Yes, his team came agonizingly close to lifting the trophy in front of a packed Stade de France. Some may even suggest that if it weren't for New Zealand public enemy number one, Wayne Barnes, sending off Sam Cane, the All Blacks would have been triumphant. Do you think he cost them the game, or were the Boks the better team on the day? Comment down below. However, the time had come for something new. What is that something new, you may ask? Well, while Fozzie was fighting off the media storm of being in the hot seat of New Zealand rugby, and prior to that assisting Steve Hansen in putting together the greatest team of all time, Scott Robertson was not so silently waiting in the wings. No, instead, he was creating a Crusaders dynasty and breakdancing after Super Rugby title wins as only he can. In he came, and admittedly the role was a lot tougher than he anticipated. The odd hiring and firing of his coaching staff didn't help the early rumblings either, nor did seeing attacking ace Tony Brown join Rassie Erasmus's coaching contingent. But as time has gone on and Razor has established his own tactics, things have started to fall into place. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, the wheels are set in motion and they're turning quickly. But why should the rest of the world be on high alert? Well, let's start with the men that do the business on game day, the players. Look, it was never going to be easy in 2024, having lost the likes of Sam Whitelock, Brodie Retallick, and Aaron Smith. But fear not if you're an All Black fan, and be very fearful if you're not, because new stars have begun to emerge. While established figures such as the always impressive Ardie Savia remain a linchpin in the side, Razor has had to bring in the young guns. Amongst them, no player has shone as bright as World Breakthrough Player of the Year, Wallace Sititi. Sititi was a revelation in 2024, combining an exciting youthfulness and a hard-nosed approach reminiscent of All Blacks of old, Jerry Collins and Jerome Kano. Who does Sititi remind you of? Let us know in the comments. Besides Sititi, other young All Blacks in the side have cemented their spots and started to repay the faith shown in them. Here we look at the likes of Tamati Williams, Tupou Vaa'i, and Cam Roigard, all future stars in the making. Roigard missed out on a lot of games due to injury, but will be raring to go in 2025. His absence This gave Cortez Ratima an opportunity to show what he could do as well. Further down the back line, Caleb Clark had a blockbuster 2024 and will be looking to lay waste to the opposition on the wing this year. Then of course, there's Will Jordan. How good is this guy, and how much better can he possibly get? At the time of this video, Jordan has 38 tries in 41 tests. Mixing his time on the wing and at fullback, Jordan appears to be the modern-day Christian Cullen. With his ability to find weaknesses in the defense, break the line and glide through to score 5-pointers, he seems fast-tracked to being the All Blacks' key man heading into the 2027 World Cup. He could break the try-scoring record before we know it. D-Max showed big strides in the right direction in the 10-jumper, and the triple threat of the Barrett brothers are always a reliable source to call upon. Scott Barrett is growing in stature as a captain, and with the support of his coach, the two will make a formidable team going forward. Speaking of the coach, that brings us to our next point, Razor. For so long, New Zealand fans have earmarked Scott Robertson as the next All Blacks head coach, and here he is. Scott Robertson brings with him not only an incredible coaching resume, but also a player's perception. Being a former All Black himself, Razor has found amazing success wherever he has taken the reins, be that the Baby Blacks, Canterbury, or the Crusaders. And the All Blacks should be no different. But what makes Razor so special? Well, Scott Robertson has about him an infectious personality, filled with enthusiasm and intensity. It's clear for all to see that his players adore him, and that is the first step to being successful. Win the dressing room. Not only is Razor a likable person, but he brings with him a winning game plan, tried and tested in several Super Rugby knockout stages. And no, this is not the watered-down product we currently see with Super Rugby. This is the Super Rugby as we once knew it. Sure, international rugby is a different animal altogether, but there's no reason to suggest he can't replicate the success. As time goes on, and Robertson builds more trust with the players who are new to him, the stars will start to align. At first, it appeared that there was an uncertainty about who the best All Blacks 15 was, or even the Matchday 23 for that matter. Questions were posed by pundits whether they should start to implement their own version of the bomb squad, or whether they should change their tactics. As usual, John Kirwan may always have a lot to say, but Razor is the one who actually puts things into action, and he, his coaching staff, and his players believe in the vision. Robertson has surrounded himself with top professionals, most notably forwards coach Jason Ryan. With his team, the extra time holding the reins, and the hard knocks of 2024, Scott's squad will be out to take some scalps moving forward. New Zealand has often been the envy of the world when it comes to the structures they have in place and the emphasis put on rugby within the country. Rugby is a religion in New Zealand, and as a result, ample resources are allocated to New Zealand rugby and the All Blacks brand as a whole. New Zealand has some of the best rugby schools in the world, and they consistently produce top talent. Yes, let's not beat about the bush. They have been negatively affected by South Africa no longer taking part in Super Rugby, and this has had an impact on not only their domestic sides, but the international setup as well. However, their super sides remain highly competitive outfits, battling it out with one another week in and week out. New Zealand Rugby also has a well-supported club rugby system, and few can match the quality their provincial side showcase in the NPC. A big talking point in New Zealand at the moment is whether they should open up selection to overseas-based players or not. Share with us your thoughts on that hotly debated topic down below. Pundits point at the success of South Africa in bringing back foreign-based players for international duty, but this is a policy which was also being used prior to the Rassie era, and things weren't so rosy then. It is not necessarily a bad thing for New Zealand to only select players based in the country. In fact, for so long, it was seen as being a major part of their success. By doing so, they keep the standard of domestic rugby high, while also emphasizing the importance of the black jersey. The decision is yours. Leave and miss out on representing your country, or stay and have a shot at being an All Black. It could still remain to be a cause of success going forward. Lastly, New Zealand has an amazing talent talent pool to choose from. Yes, they are a small nation, but the players they produce are of a world-class standard. The closely situated island neighbors of Tonga, Samoa, and Fiji unfortunately do not have the resources to build their rugby team's brands into what they could be. With that comes their struggle to prevent their young players from going to represent other countries. One team which they have a strong affinity for is the All Blacks. It's no secret that some of the rugby's best athletes originate from these three island nations, and with that comes the possibility that the All Blacks might find the next Joe Rokocoko. 2025 promises to be an exciting and entertaining year for international rugby. Rivalries will resume and swords will be drawn. Something special seems to be building up with Scott Robertson's All Blacks, and in time they could become an unstoppable side, destroying all in their path. Underestimate that at your own peril. Now that you've heard our take on the scary truth behind the All Blacks, it's time for you to have your say down below in the comments. As always, thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe to our channel, like the video, and keep an eye out for plenty more to come. Until next time, thanks for watching.